All right, Coach Rod. We see a man talking about the power of marriage. I like what he said. I was going to wait a little bit later, but I want to bring it up even now. Um, I like what he said because marriage for a lot of people within their religion is the second biggest decision that you'll ever make in your life. And many people don't frame it that way or see it that way or understand that that's a big decision. It's the number two decision. What would you say to that? Or what would you say to anything else that he kind of pulled out when he was talking about the powers of marriage, how marriage could hurt or harm someone, and to be very careful when you're choosing marriage?
So, one, I think I wrote, I like to write stuff down.
Yeah.
And when I started breaking it down, it was almost two opposing factions when it comes to marriage.
Okay.
Right. But the thing that he said that was so subtle is when you choose.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I said when he talked about it was, okay, when we first talk about marriage or your mate, you have to be careful on who you choose because the outcome can have two opposing outcomes.
Yeah.
Right. Because a lot of people blame marriages. It's really who are you when you chose this? What were you thinking when you chose this? Because
who were you when you chose this? That's a powerful statement.
You know what I mean? Because you chose your mate.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If you listen carefully, when you choose your mate, when you make this conscious decision,
mm-hmm.
right, understand with your decision and your decision-making process and your selection process and your selection criteria and your input to the selection, like where your mindset is at.
Yeah.
We got two opposing views that can come out here. It can inspire, it can confine.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is what he said. It can make you young, it can make you old.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What the other said, he said it can be your other half, or it can make you half of yourself.
Mm-hmm. One thing you said too, I like, and you keep going. It can inspire you to greatness, or it can bring you to complacency.
It can confine you to
dualities in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at with this. When he said that, I loved it because he wasn't blaming a gender. He was saying when you come into this union, understand what can come out of this, and cautioning us to think, right? And this is why I love what we're doing and what we have in these conversations, because how are we thinking about marriage?
Right.
The title is what's the benefit of marriage? It's not saying what's in it for me. What is the benefit of marriage? So, when I saw it, I just said, all right, cool, because I've lived it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I've lived it. So it's just like, okay, how do we talk about this in a way that makes sense now? How do we translate this? Because, everyone is afraid of marriage.